name is Jordan, also known as Scraps. Today I will be teaching you this excited patch. Now what makes this patch different from all the others is because we actually do most of the distortion inside the patch itself, or inside the instrument itself. Then we boost it with a little bit more distortion. We actually don't need this. And just mastering it, removing some of the minor frequencies, and then just adding a maximizer on there to prevent the signal from going overboard. Anyways, enjoy the demo example, and I'll show you how to create it. Oops. Let me just loop this. So what this is actually doing is that I have a synced mod wheel, and every time you hear the little plucks go by, that's actually just turning on this mod wheel. And every time the mod wheel isn't on, it creates kind of the growling effect that we hear in the sound. So that's on, that's off. Okay, so let's get making this. One of the things I love to do is create a combinator. You can right click to get a menu to go to utilities and create a combinator there. You can hold down control and left click to get the same menu. Or you can hit F8 to bring up the tool window, so that way when you want to create a new instrument, you can just click and drag it out. Same thing. So now that we have a combinator, I'm going to, inside this little red box, I'm going to right click and go create a maelstrom. Now what I'm going to do is attack the mod wheel, so I'm going to turn up the index to about 36. Hold shift if you can't get the finite numbers while still clicking. And for the shift, I'm going to change that to 12. Okay, so now that we have our modulation parameters all ready to go, I'm going to turn off my mod A. For mod B, we want to set our volume pretty much all the way up, so about 63. And for the rate, make sure its sync is turned on, and make sure the rate is 1/8. For the curve, we're going to set this to our curve type B, number 11. Now for our oscillators. So for oscillator A, we're going to choose a male choir. So let's see. I probably went too far. There we go. Male choir. I'm going to take it down an octave. I'm going to set my index to 75, and for the motion, 37. So 75 up here, and negative 37 for the motion. Okay, now that we have that, we need to attach our second filter. So, and make sure it routes to shaper A and filter B. And make sure our oscillator B is routed to filter B as well. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to set it to random filter. So that's right before the Juno synth. I'm going to set the motion to negative 37. I'm going to set my index pretty much, actually let's set the index farther than normal, so that way we get a much wider range. So I'm going to set the index to 96. And for our modulation or filters, I'm going to turn on shaper. I'm going to set it to sine. I'm going to take the amount to about 56. Actually, let me make sure it's 56. It's 54 actually. All the minor details count. I'm going to turn on route filter B to shaper. And for my filter B, I'm going to change it to a positive comb filter. I'm going to take my my filter frequency to 119, my resonance right in the middle, so 60. Actually, let's make this 42 and turn off filter A, and there you guys have the initial patch. If you want to modulate this, all you have to do is hit the show programmer, hit maelstrom, choose button 1, and go to modulator, and modulator be on off. And there you have it, now it's on and off. You can call this syncer. Okay, so, whoops. After this, all we need to do is give it some room to breathe and distort it. So I'm going to choose an RV7000 Advanced Reverb found in Studio Effects. I'm going to take my dry wet all the way down to 20 and my decay all the way to 23. After this, I'm going to choose a Scream 4 distortion unit found in Creative Effects. I'm going to set the type to tape. I'm going to set the damage a little bit more, so about 74. P1, I'm going to set that to 84, and P2, I'm going to set that at 50. We don't need to mess with the cut or the body. After this, all we need to do now is give it a little bit more widening. So I'm going to create another RV7000 Advanced Reverb. I'm going to do the same thing as before, take the dry wet to 22, the decay to 23. After this, I'm going to create a line 6 bass amp. Just turn it on to compress all the sounds to a much lower volume. After this, I'm going to create 2 equalizers. So that's found in Studio Effects, M-class equalizers. I want to turn on low cut, P1. I'm going to leave right in the middle and take the gain all the way down and the Q all the way up. For P2, I'm going to set my frequency to 2130 kilohertz. Gain down, Q all the way up. For my second equalizer, I'm going to turn on P1 and P2. And for P1, we actually want to take this a little bit higher. So I'm going to do 4646 kilohertz. Gain down, Q all the way up. For P2, on our second EQ, we want to take this to 8351 kilohertz. Gain down, Q all the way up. And there we have it. After this, we want to create an M-class maximizer. Take off limiter, put release to auto, turn on soft clip, and take the amount to 127. And there you guys have it, your very own personalized exciter. So I'll see you guys again on Friday for another synth tutorial. Let me know what you guys want to be taught, and I'll try and teach it to the best I know how. Cheers!